Yo, what is going on, guys? So I was just about to head out, but I came across this video clip, which is just absolutely wild. It really goes to show you some of the things that I have been saying on this channel about marriage. But this is a woman who quite literally has gotten on here just to make a TikTok video about trash talking her husband. Now, she has no friends. She has nobody to talk about this to, so she decides to make a TikTok video. And that's not just me being mean, okay, being an a-hole. This is her words. She has no friends, and this video is deliberately designed to trash talk her husband. Now, if I have time, we will cover some other video clips here today, but I wanted to get this video out specifically to show you this because I thought it was just so damn ridiculous. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And let's jump in and see who was in the right and who was in the wrong in this woman's story.
I'm going to talk shit about my husband. And if you're not into people getting on the internet and airing their dirty laundry and talking shit about their spouses, keep scrolling. This is not for you. But I don't have any real life friends, so the internet gets my drama.
I'm just wondering who is searching for this content, by the way, guys. You know, I cover this stuff here on YouTube because it's absolutely stupid. You know, but I don't know, is this a niche, trash talking your husband or something like this? Like, are you expecting to build a fan base off of this? I'm really quite confused. Doesn't make any sense, but yep, has no friends, checks out.
But I don't have any real life friends, so the internet gets my drama. Tell me if this would piss you off. My husband says he's gonna go golfing. Okay. This was yesterday. I already wasn't crazy happy about it, considering it's a couple days before Christmas. He knew that I had a ton that I needed to do. I had voiced my concerns to him about this. Hey, this is taking up really valuable time on a week that we don't have any extra time. And then I'm like, you know what? Stop. He doesn't get to go out with his friends often. He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later.
So let me just start off by saying this husband of yours is he's dealing with way more than I would ever put up with personally. This guy wants to go out golfing and you lose your marbles over it, but in the end you grant him permission. How thoughtful of you, your majesty, so that this guy can go out golfing. Okay, and I have seen this so many times, man. Women will be like, oh, we're just so busy. It's the holiday season. I have to run around and do all these things. And I swear to you guys, women make this period so much more stressful than it has to be. You know, oh, we've got to go get gifts for this and that. And we've got to do this and we've got to run here, there, blah, blah, blah. And they want to do it within like 2 days of Christmas, which was just at the time of recording this video, you know, recently gone. And it's just so stupid. These people are so headache-inducing sometimes, man. I don't know how the husband puts up with it, probably by going golfing, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not a man who likes golfing, but if I had to deal with a woman like this involuntarily, I'd probably pick it up just so I could leave the damn house. But yeah, she's not happy about it. I am so sick of hearing these stories, guys. Like, you know, oh, your wife is disapproving of you going golfing. What the hell are you married to her for, man? Get the hell out of here.
Really valuable time on a week that we don't have any extra time. And then I'm like, you know what? Stop. He doesn't get to go out with his friends often. He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later. Let him go. So he goes.
Wow, so kind of you, Your Highness, to grant him permission. And this is the problem that I have with so many modern women, guys, is like, they're just completely unreasonable and they think that the guy should be lucky to be granted permission, even though it's a completely normal thing. It's not like this dude, you know, is out here going to women's houses and claiming that they're his girlfriends or something like this. The guy's going golfing, man. You know, insofar as the story, I believe she goes on to say afterward, this really pisses her off, bit of a spoiler. He goes out to have some drinks afterwards, which absolutely makes her more mad, as you can imagine. But you know, it's not like this dude's hitting up the club, and it's not like he's a woman and he's out here dressing promiscuously and can get attention and all of this kind of stuff. The man's going out golfing. He's hanging out with his friends. He's trying to have a good time. And she's like, yeah, I gave him permission. Disgusting.
He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later. Let him go. So he goes. He leaves the house around 8 a.m. yesterday. I get like 1 or 2 texts from him throughout the day. 6 o'clock in the evening rolls around. At this point, I'm thinking he's got to be on his way home, right? Like he's coming home, right? Our kids go down at 7:30. The wife of his best friend texts, "Hey, the boys are sleeping off their golfing day." AKA, they got so shit-faced that it's 6 in the evening and they're passed out at his buddy's house.
You know what? Okay, let me just say this. I'm not a golfer, okay? I can't really say I've been one for the hobby, nor personally do I drink, okay? But I do understand why this guy does not want to return home. I understand why he leaves from 8 a.m. till over past 6 p.m. It's probably because he doesn't want to deal with you. That's really what it comes down to, man. These women are like, why is my husband just always at work? And I mean, oftentimes the dude is just trying to provide for their family, make ends meet, and keep the roof over their heads, pay the mortgage, and so on. But a lot of times as well, man, the husbands don't want to be around these women because they're simply insufferable. They don't come home from work to a peaceful environment. They come home from work to headaches and nonsense and problems, which quite frankly, you should have solved. This woman, for example, she later on in a minute will go on about how she's a stay-at-home mother. Okay, so this dude's out here working, making the money, I assume. And it's like, okay, you have your job, he has his, but then these women still want assistance being a stay-at-home mother. You know, it's like the dude is expected to do his job, but your job he's also supposed to help you with. Crazy, man.
So shit-faced that it's 6 in the evening and they're passed out at his buddy's house. So I'm like, that's so fantastic. You left to go golfing all day, which is already annoying to leave me with the kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I get very few breaks. Now I'm like working on my day off, you know what I mean? And I'm now doing bath and bed and like all the routine. Sorry, I hit stop for a second. So I'm not doing that all by myself. That's already annoying. That's already just rude. At this point, I'm just thinking, that's rude. You don't even give me a heads up you're not going to be home. You don't give me any kind of indication that you might miss bedtime. Like,
yeah, so the reason why this guy doesn't do this is because he doesn't want to talk to you because you're insufferable. I said this like 2 seconds ago, but man, these women just simply don't understand this. Why would the dude... Let me get this straight, okay? I'm seeing this video, and this is my first greeting of this woman. And let me just say, I totally understand why the dude doesn't want to return home. I don't know why dudes put themselves in this situation in the first place, man. They marry women like this who have an issue with them going golfing. I mean, I already think that marriage is a complete scam for men. I really do. But add this on, like, this is your reward for risking everything. Is a woman who just nags you, has an issue with you going golfing, and so on. It's like, dudes just take on all of these headaches, man. They really do. You got dudes out here trying to date single mothers, man. They're getting into marriages with women who are quite frankly awful. They're trying to have relationships with women who hit the club. A lot of guys out there, man, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Now, there's a huge portion of men who are refusing to date these days, and those numbers, believe me, they are growing every single damn day. But there are still a lot of dudes who they just ask for more suffering in their life, to be honest. And I don't understand it, man. I really don't. I don't want to be around this woman at all. I don't want to be her husband. I don't want to be her friend. I don't want anything to do with this woman whatsoever.
I'm just waiting on a heads up you're not going to be home. You don't give me any kind of indication that you might miss bedtime. Like, I'm just waiting all day for you to get home, and then I find out you're not home. Also, you're 34 years old and you have 2 kids at home, and you let yourself get so drunk that you had to pass out. And then I get a text at 11:30 at night. Oh, hey, I'm on my way home. Sorry. Inexcusable. Freaking excusable.
What are you, his like parent or something? Oh, it's inexcusable. Notice how she's talking like she's his teacher or something back from school, man. You know, oh, this behavior is inexcusable. He's not a dog, okay? Like, women who talk like this, man, oh, this is just simply inexcusable. This behavior is unacceptable. Okay, peace, man. This is exactly why the dude dips out the entire time and he doesn't want to talk to you. I would not be surprised at all if this dude didn't even fall asleep and he just wanted to go and just do whatever for the day and just not have to deal with you. you know, and have an excuse not to answer, or not to send you all of these messages and things, man. Like that's really what it comes down to. I don't think that this guy wants to be around this woman, and I've known this woman for how many minutes have I seen this video, man? Like, what are we, like a couple of minutes, one and a half minutes, 2 minutes I have known this woman for, and I'm already more done than the husband is, I think.
I'm sorry. Then I get a text at 11:30 at night. Oh, hey, I'm on my way home. Sorry. Inexcusable. Freaking excusable. That was so unbelievably inconsiderate and rude. I'm pissed off at him, and I'm pissed off at the friend he was with, because Jesus, you are in your mid-30s. You are too old to be acting like that. So I'm pissed off, right? I'm furious, obviously.
So, by the way, this guy is what, 34? She said, oh, you're too old to be acting like that, is what this woman's claiming. I mean, this dude's probably thinking to himself, man, I'm too old to be putting up with women like this. That's probably what he's thinking to himself, man. As dudes get older, they just don't, they just have less and less tolerance for headaches. I think that's true of anyone who really gets older in life, man. They kind of just realize that what is the point of adding unnecessary stress to yourself? And they will just remove themselves from these sorts of situations. Especially, like, you can already tell what kind of woman this is within 2 seconds of her opening the video, because she specifically makes this video to trash talk her husband. She doesn't respect this guy. She doesn't like this guy, right? She's with him because, again, he's the one who's out there providing. Again, men are expected to go out there, provide, but if he wants to go out golfing, then it's like this major issue because of all of these miscellaneous tasks that need to be done. It's like, you're a stay-at-home mother. These things could have been organized a very long time ago, by the way. But women, I've noticed this about Christmas time and holidays and things like this, man, is girls just love to make it as difficult as possible. Could have got the presents a long time ago, but no, we have to wait until right up until Christmas in order to do anything about it. And then we have to race everybody around and cause a whole bunch of issues. And this is exactly why dudes are single, by the way, man. Too many issues, too much headaches. I'm getting a headache and I don't even know this woman.
30s. You are too old to be acting like that. So I'm pissed off, right? I'm furious, obviously. So he comes home last night after I had texted him, don't bother, stay at your buddy's house. I don't want you home. He comes home in the morning. He's like, hey, sorry. And I'm like, hey, not good enough. You messed up pretty bad, buddy. Like,
again, with this kind of language, man, is like, you know, she's sitting here saying, you messed up, buddy. Not your buddy. This is your husband, by the way. And she tells him not to come home. I just love how women try and pull this crap, man. The dude's obviously, he's the one. So she's a stay-at-home mother, she said. And so the dude, I assume, is paying the bills, if not the majority of them. And she has the audacity to say, hey, don't come home, like stay away from the home. You mean the home that he's probably paying rent for, that he's probably paying the mortgage for? This is not your house. You're not paying for the house. You are in the house. It's crazy to me, man, how these modern women just have no respect for the effort that the men do put into the relationship or providing for both of them. It's just completely invisible. You know, I did a video recently, man. Some woman was talking about the invisible labor that she contributes to the relationship. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, what about the actual labor that's being contributed? Do you want to go out there and work all day? By the way, there are lots of guys who would be happy to be a stay-at-home father and exchange, you know, going out there and working for being a stay-at-home father. But women want to be the stay-at-home ones. When do you ever see women actively looking for stay-at-home fathers? They don't do it, right? Because women don't want to look after men. They know that it's way damn harder to go out there and make a living and pay off a damn house. So they don't want to do it. And so what they do is they become the stay-at-home mothers, and then they complain about that as well. It's like you can't win as the dude. You provide for them, you're the problem. You're the stay-at-home father, well, she doesn't respect you and she'll cheat on you. Crazy, man.
Off, right? I'm furious, obviously. So he comes home last night after I had texted him, don't bother, stay at your buddy's house. I don't want you home. He comes home in the morning. He's like, hey, sorry. And I'm like, hey, not good enough. You messed up pretty bad, buddy. Like, that was pretty messed up. So anyways, I ream into him as I feel I had every right to, because he didn't seem remorseful. He didn't really seem to care. And of course, in true my husband fashion, he then gets mad at me because I'm mad at him. And he cops an attitude with me for being upset with him because he thinks that the words "I'm sorry" should just instantly erase all of the emotions around that event, which is just not how humans work.
No, so let me explain what happened here, as if this woman is ever going to find this video or listen to what I have to say. So the reason why the dude didn't care is because he's already so damn detached from you. This is why he stayed out the entire damn day. This is why he went golfing and did these things in the first place. I mean, he would probably go golfing anyway because he probably enjoys it. But this is why he took so damn long, didn't want to come home, wasn't interested in talking to you, is because you're such a giant headache. And this guy is just, he's probably just there looking after the kids. You are such a pain in this guy's ass that he would rather just completely dip out and go do something else. So when he comes home, yeah, of course he doesn't care. He's not interested. This man has already psychologically dipped, man. You know, and dudes, even if they're not happy, will still try and make the relationship work. They will still stay in the marriage. They will still pay the bills. They will still do their duties. Unlike a lot of modern women who will leave whenever they are unhappy, right? So this guy has already dipped out. The reason why he gets mad at you is because you then decide it's a good idea to get mad at him. You know, like, again, this woman is a gigantic headache, has an issue with him golfing. This dude comes home to a storm of anger from his wife. Of course, he's not going to give a damn. Of course, he's just going to be more pissed off. He's going to be like, well, you know, this is exactly what I thought would happen. What the hell am I even here for? You know? Like, this guy doesn't come home to a loving environment. He doesn't come home to a welcoming environment. You know, there's like 5,000 different issues. She hasn't sorted things with the kids. She probably hasn't made dinner, despite the fact that she's just been sitting at home with the children all day. Nothing has been done whatsoever. And then he comes home to her wanting to start, you know, World War III with him. And then she wonders why he gets mad and he's disconnected from her. Genius, man. These women have no idea how men work. And this isn't even a man thing. This is just like a disrespect thing, to be honest with you.
Anyways, so then he's like, I gotta go pick up my golf clubs. I left him at his house. I'll pick up lunch on my way back. 2 hours later, he comes back with lunch, and my meal is wrong, and it's something that I cannot and will not eat. And I'm just like, oh, the rage I feel, I've been shaking all day. I'm so mad because I feel so disrespected.
Yeah, you feel disrespected. Imagine how the man feels. Again, this dude probably didn't even need to go and get his golf clubs. He arrived home. He came back home for 2 seconds. You were a giant pain in his ass. So he just leaves again. You know? Like, again, dudes will remove themselves from these situations, man. Men do not want to come home to houses like this with women like this. They simply don't. You know? Like, I don't know what other way to say it, man. Men are not interested in having wives like this. What's the point of having the wife in the first place? Men, I don't think women understand this. Men very much value peace. If you cannot bring peace, or if you bring the opposite of it, don't expect your dude to want to be in the house with you. Yeah, he's going to work 90% of the time, whether that be to pay bills or simply to get away from you. And then, of course, he's going to want to play golfing, go and be golfing and things like this, because you're intolerable. Again, guys, I have known this woman for, what is this now, like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. You guys have probably seen, you know, if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations, okay? You probably can't stand this woman either. So imagine how the husband feels after days, weeks, months, and years of this nonsense. Makes sense to me, man.
So I'm just venting because I don't really have any in real life friends. My social interaction is all online.
What a shocker. This woman has no friends.
So I'm just venting, and I don't care who you think was right or wrong. I don't care if you think it's not a big deal. I literally don't care. I'm just venting to get it out. But also, does anybody else feel that intense rage when their food is wrong? Because that tipped me over the edge. I was mad, and now I am like furious. And I know it's not his fault, and I know accidents happen, and the restaurant just put the wrong soup in, but I'm like, oh my God. After waiting 2 hours for a freaking bowl of soup, and then to have it be the wrong soup, and now I feel like it's money wasted, time wasted. Please tell me somebody else is having a day. And also gets upset when their soup is wrong.
So after all this rant and tirade about how her man's gone out golfing and about how it's such a huge issue, now she has an issue with this whole soup thing, which let's just use this for reference, guys. I guarantee you, the night that this dude came home, no dinner was made. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't make a dinner for him. She didn't, I mean, she might have made a little bit of like microwave food for herself or something. And then the next day, rather than making food, again, stay-at-home mother, by the way, waits 2 hours and then gets pissed off that her soup is wrong after this time. So not only is this guy coming home to a home that is just full of anger, his wife's nagging him, she's a complete psycho, she doesn't like when he goes golfing, okay? Clearly not grateful for the work that he does here. He comes home to all this nonsense. And then on top of that, no dinner is made. And then this woman can't even be bothered making the following day's lunch, even though she's just been at home this entire damn time. It really begs the question, what have they been doing? Like, I understand, okay, it does take effort to look after children. I'm not stupid, right? I do understand that this takes effort. But there is certainly downtime where you can be making food and things like this. But these women essentially just sit at home, they put their kids on like the iPads and crap like this, and then they do absolutely nothing except for rant about their husbands all day. This, in my mind, has to be like what the View's primary audience is, man. When I've seen that American talk show recently, this is the kind of woman who I think to myself, oh, this is the type of woman who watches this sort of content. But guys, let's continue into the second clip for today. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's continue into the next one.
This is a PSA for all my girlies. The only thing you have to know is that if a man treats women like shit or like hates women or like constantly cheats, like I'm talking like every single girlfriend he's ever had, or like constantly has like a fucking roster that he just goes through, there's either two reasons for this. Number one, he's a really bad mother wound. Deep core mother wound. He hates women because he hates his mom. Okay,
so in the first clip, we had the woman who was ranting about her husband being absolutely awful. And in this clip, we have a woman who's pissed off because she keeps selecting men. She keeps chasing Chad, and Chad keeps cheating on her, refusing to have a relationship with her, seeing multiple women, and so on and so forth. Again, this is why, by the way, you don't wife up women like this, because then they just turn into the ones that have the issue with you golfing. In fact, this is probably like a pre-evolution of actually a worse one. You know what I mean? I think if you were to marry this woman would probably be worse than the golfing one. I'm just going to call her the golfing one because I don't care to learn what her name is. So yeah, apparently, right? If the dude's out here and cheating on you and doing all of this stuff, and you can't get a relationship out of him, then apparently he has an issue with his mother. I love these like armchair psychologist women who get on TikTok and they're like, yeah, I'm going to psychoanalyze men. Also, something really weird I want you to notice about these videos, guys, is when women talk about Chad and these men that they can't get relationships out of, notice how a lot of them, they're actually smiling a lot. Even when they're thinking back to this dude and how, quote unquote, horribly he treated her. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Notice how they're just smiling the whole time.
Deep core mother wound. He hates women because he hates his mom. Okay, even if he doesn't think he hates his mom, his inner child hates his mom. You know what I mean? Like, he's just real bad relationship, and he just has decided to take that out on every single woman that exists. The other option, this one, I have found way more true, is that he's gay as fuck. He's so gay, like super fucking gay. And there's nothing wrong with being gay to other people, but to them, the internalized homophobia, the internalized misogyny, it's all of that into one small-minded meat suit, you know?
It's crazy to me, man, how like if a dude refuses to commit to modern women, or he goes out here and he cheats on these women, right? Which I don't think cheating is a good thing to do at all. Let me just say that again. Guys, I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what gender you think you are. I don't think cheating is a good thing to do to somebody. You really don't care what gender you think you are or are. Now, with that out of the way, man, it's funny to see these women who fail to get relationships out of men And then what they do is they just turn around and insult the guy and say, well, he likes dudes, or he has an issue with his mother, or he doesn't like women. Do you ever consider that maybe a lot of these guys that you can't get relationships out of just don't want to have a relationship with you? This is always the last thing that's considered, by the way. I'm just now noticing this huge crystal necklace, by the way, guys. Check this out. Absolutely level. Let me pull this up so you guys can see. Look at this. We got the huge crystal necklace going on here. That's not a red flag, is it? These men just don't want to commit to you. Women will throw around all these insults. They'll make up all of these different scenarios about how the dude needs to do some healing, or I don't know, his ego is too big, or the man's broken and he needs to go through a healing journey. When the fact of the matter is, a lot of these guys don't commit to you, and they screw around and they see a bunch of women simply because they actually have no reason to commit to one modern woman these days. One modern woman, excuse me. The incentive for men to get into relationships and marriages, I think the first clip is a fantastic example of that as well, is really just diminished these days. Like, you are going to have a very hard time trying to convince men to have a relationship with you, especially if you're one of these women on TikTok, man. Like, it's already doomed. You go to one of these women's TikTok pages, you go to their Instagram, and it's like, holy hell, you could not have a successful relationship with these women if you gave it your all. If you put in 200% effort into that relationship, you probably wouldn't be able to make it work, because the situation is just so screwed, man.
Because listen, if you act like you hate women, it's because you do.
Aristotle over here, ladies and gentlemen.
And a man who loves women, truly loves women, doesn't treat them like they hate them, you know? And all I have to say to that is, baby boy, just be gay. Just be happy, my love.
I love these people, man. They throw around the word like, oh, internalized homophobia and all of this stuff. And they're the first people to call a guy gay as an insult. Like, please make this make sense to me. I thought we were supposed to be loving and caring and against all the obias and things like this. But these women and these groups of people are like the first ones to leverage this as some sort of insult. Isn't that crazy? Like, if I got on this video, guys, and I started throwing out insults and calling people, you know, whatever, I would be branded very damn quickly as like a hateful person, and I'd be banned and all of this sort of thing. But women come out here, they say this crap on TikTok, guys, and it's like, it just totally flies. And meanwhile, they're the ones claiming to be all about equality and, you know, all about caring and compassion and empathetic. But somehow, if I say it, I'm an evil man, right? But if she says it, then it somehow comes from a place of like caring. Like, what is this, man? What is this? But I think we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let me know what you guys think about the husband situation from the first clip. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.